that? I didn't do that. What was that setup? It made me drop. What happened right there? I saw an ice drop. I didn't do that. That is so bizarre. What forces it to drop? This is Steve-O's don't wear the helmet all over again. I hope it's not gonna kill me down here. Okay. Do we want boots? Or bone? Or dry bone? But if I go up this way, it looks like I'll die. We need either one to get across. The obvious answer is to take the dry bones. So we're going boot. Because I believe in troll magic. This is why I don't always believe in troll magic. I was just like, okay, this one will work this time.
Match found.
So I guess I just walk.
Yeah, consigo.
Já dá.
Já. Yeah, consigo.
É logo.
You.
Dead.
Alright. No Kaizo. No Kaizo.
Let's go.
Surely we've got it this time.
Desenho BCB. Desenho B.
Alright, let's go. What's that? Don't give me this shit. Don't give me this shit.
Foi lá, estou aqui a terminar umas coisas, mas depois também...
Is it just to... Is that... Football! Is that just to have somebody stand under the spike and be like, why would I ever fish in the face?
Off my
Fish in the
sleeves,
back?
yeah?
Is that
Don't
what
wanna fry
that's
your
for?
surface.
Is it just to get someone to stand here and then get a fish in the back?
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
David's got a stop block again.
Reload him. Reload him. Reload him.
Turn out.
Knock, knock.
Gun here.
Brimstone out.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B. One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Spike landed. Gotta go. Spike landed. Gotta go. Is everyone's tech still working? Double check it, please. Is everyone's tech still working? Double check it, please.
Quick feed.
Quick trigger. Placing sentry.
Quick feed.
Quick trigger.
Someone's B.
Revealing area. Enemy spotted. Mid.
One down. One down. Here. Here.
Enemy and attacker spawn.
Reyna killed.
Shot down.
Here. Reloaded.
One enemy remaining.
Plant the spike. Plant the spike. Plant the spike.
planted. Revealing area. Found them.
Enemy B.
They'll hit back. Or at least they should. They'll hit back. Or at least they should.
Right here. Right here. Right here.
I'll show them. They think I don't. I'll show them. They think I don't.
Scanning ahead.
Enemy A.
Take flight.
This way.
Spike down A.
Powers out.
Last player standing. Last player standing. Thirty seconds left.
Act on my intel. Don't give them time to reposition.
Turret out. Let's go. Gotta go.
Scanning ahead.
Enemy here.
Silence.
I got the spike.
Spike down B.
Going up.
Finished.
Last player standing.
Race into the spike site. Go, go, go.
Right here.
My ultimate is ready.
Breakaway.
Turret out. Taken out.
Come on, let's go.
Enemy mid. Initiated. Alarm bot out.
Spike down mid. Last player standing.
No charges left. Look, don't start resting. There's still work to do.
Reloading.
Placing
Right
sentry.
here. Right here.
Let's fly.
Right here.
Go, go, go.
Here.
Reloading.
Someone's B. Oh, time out! Hunter!
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Area is dead.
Spike down B.
Enemies here.
Got spike.
Last player standing.
Stay taut as a bowstring. The fight demands it. Deploying drone.
Here.
Enemy down.
Revealing area.
Spike down. Spike down mid.
Going up. Watch your eyes! Watch your guys B.
Last player standing.
What do you say, drone? Ready to stretch your wings?
They're not better than me.
Bunch of guys A. Go on, brother. Prepare for hellfire!
Nice try!
Reload.
Posso ir de outro jeito.
Vai dar.
O último cigarro.
Nowhere to run!
One enemy remaining.
Flag planted.
Here!
Here.
Okay, where's Sage? This Scheiße hurts.
Everyone makes fun of German efficiency. Ha
Need a
ha.
drop.
Just keep laughing
Thanks.
as you use all my
I need
gear.
a drop.
I need a drop.
Reloading.
Reyna killed. Here.
Go.
Reloading.
Spike down mid.
Welcome to my
Last player standing.
Okay, we know the drill. Stick to your roles and we'll crush it.
I need a drop.
Come into the unknown.
Placing sentry.
Revealing area. There they are.
Reloading.
Spike down A.
Drop the spike. Spike down. Initiated. Blocking sight.
Careful now.
Enemy killed.
Last player standing.
Bomb grenade out.
One enemy remaining.
Bomb grenade out. Found them. Calculated.
Tech support with a carry. Nice work.
Quick peeks now.
Turn out.
Careful now.
Here we go.
Stay down.
Reloading.
Multiple enemies A.
Our spike carrier is killed.
Spike down A.
Shock dart. Reloading.
Blocking sight.
One enemy remaining.
Three.
Last player standing.
Scanning ahead.
Bad.
Last round in the half.
We lose everything after this.
I
Spend
need a
it.
drop. I need a drop. I need a drop.
Here. Turret out. Time for a field test.
Careful now.
Reloading. Back off.
Enemy B.
That's 3.
Last player standing. Switching sides.
Clock sticking.
Placing sentry. We got it this time. Found them.
Spike down B.
Many enemies B. Spikes B. Variable removed. Here.
Night night.
One enemy remaining.
Turret out. They're all dead? I have more tests to run. Spikes here.
Don't stress if I die. It was great knowing you all. Also, delete my hard drive.
I have money. I'm gearing up.
Turret out. Keep it cool. That's how you survive.
I'm out of here.
Careful.
Reloading.
Someone's B.
Take this.
Reloading.
Spike down B.
Spotted B.
One enemy remaining.
Going up. Oh.
Here.
Spike down B. Reloading. Scanning ahead.
Coming through.
Careful now.
Thirty seconds left. Spike planted.
Right here.
Gotta go.
There they are.
Last player standing.
Jatuh.
Clutch.
Think it.
If you're not a good shot today, don't worry. There are other ways to be useful.
Placing sentry.
Careful now.
Careful.
Spike planted.
Enemy solid.
Last player standing.
เจ็บดีครับ
Neutralized.
They look like us, but are they us? I have so many questions.
Here.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Careful now.
Flawless.
Watch them run when lit by my sonar. That's when we strike.
Reloaded.
Time's over.
Someone A.
Spike planted.
No, you don't.
Here. Oh.
My ult's not ready. My ult's not ready.
Last player standing.
Whoa, wait.
Match point.
You want me serious? You got it.
Placing sentry.
Don't overthink it. That's my job. There they are. I am the hunter! Careful!
Brimstone's out.
Lock in sight.
Spike planted.
Initiated. Huh.
What's this?
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
Oh, was that important?
Last player standing.
Reloading.
Hi, fight's not over, you know.
Placing sentry.
Let's go.
Welcome to my world.
Spike planted.
Gone.
Come on, let's go. Got one.
Reload him.
What?
Oh,
Watch out! Take this! Go, go, go!
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
I didn't come here to die.
Clutch. Attackers win. Match found.
Run away, please.
Blinded.
Enemy spotted mid.
Ended.
Reloading.
Blocking sight.
Reloading. Reloading.
Last player standing.
Huh?
Please, don't wreck this place all on your own. Save some demo for me.
Reloading.
Nella piki pokażę.
No charges left.
It's a...
Last player standing. Spike planted. Long.
None of my stuff has malfunctioned yet. Can we celebrate that? Here. Hawk out! Blinded.
Enemy in defender spawn.
Spike down. Defender spawn. One enemy remaining.
Spike in defender spawn. You're just a pretender.
This is just the beginning.
Satchel out. Stay safe. Hawk out!
Dead.
Spike down A.
Spike is A.
One enemy remaining.
Looks like I was the stronger one. We know the drill. Stick to your roles and we'll crush it.
Get some out of here.
Hawk out! Blinded. Blocking sight. Reloading.
Spike
You will
planted.
not kill my ally!
Last player standing.
Just swapping in the fusion cells. Okay, my arms are good. We can go.
Chamber, come here, please. 2v2v.
Seek them out!
Let's go!
Found one. Found
I
one.
got enemies B.
Spike down. B. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Don't mess with this Bayana.
Mando bem, Race! How's that for pronunciation, huh?
Keep up.
Nowhere to run!
He's A, I think.
Enemy spotted A. Flash out!
Spike planted.
Off your feet!
Enemy spotted A.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
Reloading. Oh, was that important?
Time to take these arms for a spin.
Yet, come here and we rush.
They are so dead. Hawk out. The angel's dead. Finish.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B.
Okay, take a break, guys.
If you are not doing well, keep trying. We must keep up appearances.
Yet, come with me and we rush.
Bonne chance, mes amis.
Flash out! Enemy spotted A. Let's go!
Yeah, nice try, nice try.
One less.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
Hawk out.
Come the spike, come the spike.
Holy shit.
They don't get to surrender. Keep swinging.
They can't get an inch. One down.
Blocking sight.
Planting in A, planting in A.
Spike planted.
Begins.
Buried. Enemy spotted A.
One enemy remaining.
Up. One defuse.
This is nothing.
Clutch.
You say something? Sorry, ear's still ringing.
I need a drop.
Duck. Take 'em.
Hawk out! Seek them out! Found one.
They're all dead.
Last round before the switch.
No point saving. Spend it all.
Hold it up.
Blocking sight.
Enemy spotted mid. Enemy attacker on spawn.
Night night.
Enemy spotted A.
One enemy remaining.
It
Switching
seems
sides.
these strangers want me dead. Eh bien,
Do it again. Hawk out. Blinded.
Spike down B.
120, Reina.
One enemy remaining.
Wonderful kill. I think that's it. I'm amped. Let's go. I got things to do.
¿Puesto MVP otra vez o no? Ah, no. Ah, no, este no te gusta mucho.
Attackers win.
Was that supposed to be a fight?
Match found.
Go. Let's go.
Do not worry. With me, this will be easy. C'est simple comme bonjour.
Down you go.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining. Reload. Spike is safe. Be grateful I killed you weakling.
Let them try to get through me. Stay safe.
Spike down B. enemy remaining. Spike down B. Thirty seconds left.
Weapon choice, it is so personal, no? You pick a gun and it tells me who you are.
Enemy spotted B.
You're nothing. Spike planted.
Enemy spotted B.
Cutting their vision. Done. Last player standing.
Brimstone, if you must leave,
Does anyone
then
have
leave
funds?
well. Where do we go?
Together. Here. They will cover.
Blocking sight.
Reloading. Spike down A.
Spike spotted A. Next.
Last player
Kill my
standing.
allies.
Spike planted.
Cutting their vision. As much as this world hurt me, it's mine. I will kill to defend it.
You want to play? Let's play.
Spike planted.
Open up the sky!
Last player standing.
Time to stock back up.
No prisoners.
Barrier created.
Prepare for hellfire!
We turn to dust. You fought well.
Spike planted. Last player standing. Insecto. The enemy only looks composed. Their hearts tell a different story.
Need equipment. Thanks.
You better hide, old man.
Enemies B. Enemy B.
Spike down, attacker spawn.
Reloading.
Spike it.
Oops. Blocking sight. One down.
Spike planted.
Here.
No charges left.
Many enemies say,
Stealing sight. One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Clutch.
Stay in range of my stim beacon, and we'll mow them down.
We can push them back. They will cover. Molly. Enemy spotted B. Enemy spotted B.
No charges left.
Last player standing.
Yikes.
Shoot the bad guys. How's that for a plan? Safety's off.
Lock in sight.
Reloading.
Susam gözükmüyor. No.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
Race into the spike sites.
Embarrass them.
Enemy down.
Spike planted.
Your duty is not over.
Last player standing.
Trust me, they will make mistakes. When they do, take advantage.
Spike planted.
Open up the sky! Prepare for hellfire!
Reloading. Last player standing. Last round before the switch.
Don't be cheap. Spend it all before it's gone.
You want to play? Let's play.
Enemy spotted me.
You will not kill my allies!
Enemy spotted me. Enemy spotted me.
Enemy killed.
Last player standing.
The hunt begins! Down and out.
Switching
Not a
sides.
single life worth saving.
Watch and learn.
Here.
Smoke's down.
Spike planted. Enemy spotted A.
Connor.
Here.
Healing.
One enemy remaining.
Enemy spotted A. No more doubts. We're ready.
Reloading.
Let's go!
Enemy B.
Out of here.
Here.
Enemy B. Reloading.
Healing.
One enemy remaining.
Spike planted.
You are in our way.
Please do not mistake my smile. I take this all very seriously.
Updated biometrics are required for all personnel next month. Todo el personal deberá actualizar su información biométrica el mes de transición.
Bonne chance, mes amis.
Pathetic.
Spike planted. Wall raised. Enemy spotted A.
One enemy remaining.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Let's ruin their day.
I get what I want.
Enemy spotted A.
You lose.
Here.
Reloading.
See ya. Reloading.
Enemy and defender spawn. Stand down.
Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
Launching smoke.
Spike planted.
Barrier created.
Enemy spotted A.
But it sucked.
Reloading.
These guns we use are okay, but I will also bring my own. No offense.
Here. Let's go.
Spike
the
down
spike.
B.
Reloading. Reloading.
One enemy remaining.
down.
Last player standing.
Red planet. Cutting their vision. I am superior.
Who am I kidding? My knees are gonna kill after this.
Keep up.
For you.
See nothing.
Spike down A. Last player standing.
I'm the last thing they'll see before they die. Lucky them.
Help! Fight!
You want to play? Let's play.
Your duty is not over. Here.
Cutting their vision. Spike down A. Last player standing. Match point.
My smokes can block the enemy's line of sight. Once they're blind, we move.
We win. We survive. Enemy spotted B.
Lock in sight.
Enemy spotted.
You will not kill my ally.
Last player standing.
The hunt begins.
Defenders win.
Vou com uma coisa que jeito, vai. Espera.
For the past year, we have pretty much been playing nothing but Jet. But not only do we do the infamous super dash, we've also learned how to play Jet the normal way and climb up the ranks. So in this video, I'm going to tell you everything I learned from playing Jet in order to hopefully turn you into a Jet demon. We all know Jet's abilities. Jet has a smoke, updraft and dash, but this guide isn't going to be for the first time Jet. It's going to be aimed to improve existing Jet players. But before we jump into the Jet guide, I'd just like to say thank you for the 7,000 likes on one of my previous videos. But honestly, don't be this guy, as I was really sick and I doubt you wanted a Jet tutorial when I sounded like this. One common mistake that people associate with Jet is that you need to be top fragging to prove that you're playing well. And honestly, this is just not the case. Yes, Jet has a strong toolkit, but the most valuable asset of any good Jet player is the ability to make space. And this leads me to my first point, and that's creating space. For those who don't know what creating space is, it's simply opening up the map so that your team can either push into sight, take control of areas of the map, or retake sites. And this is what I value as the most important thing to do with Jet. You have to be smart when you're creating space though, and you've got to make sure that you haven't gone too far in so you can't be traded. If you look at the map now, we have pushed all the way behind truck. Although it might be possible to get one kill, if you do die here, your team pushing A short won't be able to trade you since you're out of their line of sight. So always keep that in mind when holding the W key down on Jet. And that's why I like to play around the smokes we have available. The best way to play around using your smokes is using the smoke dash technique. And honestly, this is the best thing to do when using Jet. If done correctly, it leaves your enemies completely unaware of exactly where you are in the smoke, and you can actually leave from various different angles, which will simply distract your enemies whilst your team push simultaneously, or it can allow you to get the easy opening frag. And here's why the smoke dash combo is so important. If you look at the smoke dash from above, you can see that you're able to exit the smoke from anywhere, which ultimately leaves your enemies completely distracted with your potential whereabouts. And when pairing this with a second smoke, you can actually draw your enemies away from the choke point for a total of 8 seconds. So 9 times out of 10, you can actually either buy enough time for your team to push, or for you to get the opening pick. However, with the recent Jet nerf toning down Jet players to only having 2 smokes, this means that you have to be more decisive when using them. So the way I like to think about this is if I need to smoke off one of the choke points and use another to dash into, or to simply use both the smokes to play around. And honestly, this is literally going to depend on your team comp. For example, if you have a Brimstone, he'll probably most likely smoke the choke points off anyway, but if you have a controller like Viper, you might have to smoke off some of the choke points yourself. This can actually vary on maps as well, so now I'm going to show you some of my favorite entry paths just so you get an idea of how to use a smoke dash. Okay, so the first map I'm going to show you some entry paths on is Ascent, because there's quite a few different variations you can do. However, before we get into that, I just want to say one thing you must do when you dash. So this is what you don't want to do. A lot of Jet players just seem to just dash into the smoke without checking the left or right side. And basically, if you check the right side here, for example, as you dash, you can actually clear this area as you push into the smoke. And let's say you couldn't actually quite catch the guy on the right side when you dashed in with your own eyes. If they appear for just one single frame, they will actually be indicated on the map, so your team will know and you will also know as well. So when you're playing Jet and going hyper aggressive, don't be afraid to be a human recon drone as well. Anyway, now for the entry paths on A site. My preferred route is to throw a smoke on top of Jet and dash into it. The reason why is you can either play around with your smokes here, drop behind Jet left side, drop on the right side to peek this guy here, or as well you can also save that second smoke and jump into heaven as well. And honestly, you can easily catch people off here. For example, Sovers setting up the darts like Jonas. And if you look at it from a defender's point of view, let's say there's a smoke here, you hear a Jet dash up here, you're going to have no idea, and basically your crosshair placement's going to be so far off If anyone pushes close left, you're pretty much dead. But honestly, at the end of the day, you can still get away with doing a normal smoke dash, as you can go here, check the right side, and then peek out on the left. And doing this will leave you with one more smoke, so what I like to do is actually throw the smoke under the heaven site, and then this gives you a headshot angle, which people don't normally expect. Moving towards B site, you have 3 different options. You can either do a smoke dash into market, one down the middle of the site, or one straight over the boathouse onto site. And honestly, since you have so many different variations, the market one, for example, goes like this, and people don't actually expect you to be fully pushing through here and holding W down. The one for site, however, is a little bit more boring. It's just basically dashing into this area here, and essentially smoke training yourself, so you can either go through into CT, or kill the guy backside here. You can also give yourself a smoke on site by doing this, and then dashing into it. This will just make you a little bit more safe as you push onto site. Okay, so essentially smoke dashes are very self-explanatory. So what I'm going to do now is show the different ways you can play around them. So for example, let's smoke the top of this tube here. Check the left side obviously as we dash in. We can then use another smoke to either peek the left side, or we can go and peek the right side here. So it's just showing that we've got multiple different options. But let's say if the enemies also then start to read your plays. Throw the smoke towards the right side of it and then dash underneath the tube. They are going to think you're on the top of the tube, so you can sneak into the tube now, and then either get them from underneath and surprise them. So my number 1 tip for entry paths is don't be predictable. Let's just say we smoke dash into lamps. Let's say it's worked 3 times. They could end up stacking 2 players towards this, or hold off angles here. So what you can do is, you can smoke off lamps, and pretend that you're dashing towards it, but instead move towards site. The main attention will be focused towards this lamps area, and let's just say we do a smoke here. We can continue to sneak through, and this has worked numerous times, and I've actually got behind people by literally pressing W the entire time. Just keep in mind though, and I did say it earlier, be careful when you're pushing through. It's a very risky play because obviously you can't get traded if you die here. If you do find yourself in a situation where you have one more spare smoke on hand, using one-ways can prove valuable since enemies tend to walk up towards jet smokes more than others. And I think this is because players don't actually expect jets to do one-ways. And honestly, this is extremely easy and you can do on almost any wall. You just simply position your smoke halfway up the wall and it'll block the enemy's line of sight, resulting in a potential free kill as long as it's timed correctly. But keep in mind that the smoke only lasts 4 seconds now, so the timing is a lot harder than what it used to be. Now moving on to Jet's ultimate ability. With the most recent nerf, you now have to decide whether you want to left click for the refresh or right click for the entry. And honestly, I wouldn't call it a crazy nerf because at the end of the day, none of us are Korean Jet. But this leaves you with having to make split-second decisions on how you want to play around your ultimate. And honestly, the best way to think about it is based on economy or entries. So in terms of economy, for example, if all your team can afford guns and you can't, so you just have an ultimate, don't be afraid just to right-click, get the entry, pick up their gun, and then join your team with a Vandal in hand. And that ties very similar to wanting to get the opening entry. This is obviously going to vary depending on distance, but if you do find yourself up close with an enemy, just honestly right click the guy, pick up his gun, and then just use a Vandal. Because at the end of the day, none of us are just right clicking everyone. So let's just go back to the Vandal and just hopefully get some clean kills. Going for the right click is going to be a lot easier than trying to left click the guy up close and go for the headshot. And if you do find yourself at range, it's a no-brainer to left click and try and get the refresh, since I'm not going to lie, the RNG gods are never normally in our favor for the across map right click. However, if you do want to practice with the ultimate and try and improve with it, the biggest tip I can say is don't be afraid to body shot. This is because you can move freely and shoot with the jet knives in comparison to other guns. So you've only got to hit them 3 times to secure the kill as you run around like a Ferrari. Another thing I would practice in the range though is to try hit jet knives whilst updrafting and dashing around, so you become more fluid with your jet movement and take advantage of the ability to fully move with those goddamn knives. The reason why people associate Jet with being able to top frag is because of her get out of jail free card, her dash. And keeping this in mind is very important to how you utilize this when you position. And that's why I'm going to talk about positioning now. Personally, when starting off rounds, you can aggressively peek areas, keeping in mind that you can dash away if there's enemies there, resulting in a lot of info for your team. And we all know Ferrari peeking is ridiculously strong in this game, so you may actually get a kill or two whilst doing so. So honestly, I'm begging you not to be that insta-lock Jet who just doesn't say a word, as Jet can give the team so much info. Another way I like to position with Jet is to create off angles. And the reason why this is an off angle is because the enemy's crosshair placement isn't likely going to be there, resulting in you either getting the kill or dashing out with all the info. Okay, so now I'm going to give you an idea on how to play Jet, especially with an operator. So let's say they don't come A main here, and you are playing with a teammate on A ramps. What you can do is, you can start to fall back to screens, and you can tell your teammate to go help mid or B since it's most likely going to be there. And what I like to do is, since I've still got the dash available, is to play this off angle on the left side and then dash to the right for safety. And the reason why I like to play this so much is because it essentially frees up the guy who normally plays here to go reinforce mid and B. So this means that you're more likely going to be able to hold down B site, but also if they do come towards A, you can either give the info that they've crossed, smoked you off, or you can get that opening pick here. One thing a lot of Valorant players don't do is, they always go hyper aggressive because they want to get the frags. However, don't be afraid to go for re-
I hear B.
Alright.
Bomb drop B.
We're out.
You saved my life down.
Wait, I just healed myself.
That's cool. I don't deserve anything. Oh, we have spike though.
Wait, Jet's on top of here? Or like he's close, right?
Enemy remaining.
Did y'all break the wall? Oh my god, y'all are
I think
animals.
Tyson just played by play himself.
Where's
Nice, let's go.
Wait, I got 3 kills. Okay.
Looking at
Since we're queuing rank, I don't want to like run around and make it unfun for both teams. I feel like I don't know what to do.
Where is everyone?
Ooh.
Oh, that's mid. Lot mid.
They're just...
They're playing Minecraft at the wall right now.
Nice.
Spike down mid.
Oh my god.
One enemy remaining.
Okay.
It's my new favorite gun.
Give him the ace.
Okay.
I think... Shoot, yes,
Here.
Oh my.
Okay, well, okay, maybe that's a little too OP as well.
That's the tense carry I was just...
Oh, nice double.
One is up male. Normally they'd run back to it. Okay. Yeah, they're coming in. Coming up. They cross.
Last player
Oh
standing.
wait, 80 sky.
30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Oh.
10 seconds left. Spike planted.
No.
Nice.
I'm like trolling too much.
It's okay,
Tag the sky.
Yep, they smoked us off.
Blinding.
There's one.
I think she's...
Oh,
Spike
I
planted.
didn't tag sky.
One more site.
Oh, it's just heaven.
Raise 7.
One enemy remaining.
Damn.
Oh, dude, wow, that was a great thrifty.
Nice.
Being way
Or you know what? I could play on 1 cents. There you go. 1 at 1600. This should be a little bit more fair.
Oh, one mid?
Then I can't be that precise with aiming.
Two mid.
What about that? That's really 5 times my sensitivity, and I already play on like on a decent high sense.
Now this guy looks like he straight up came out of a cinematic, and he's really good with Jet. That those knives were actually super on point. But that's not the only decent guy you're gonna be seeing today with Jet, because we got so many amazing plays for you. So hello guys and welcome back to another Valorant video. Buckle up and get ready and grab that popcorn and get ready to watch some amazing plays. Today's video is gonna be full of them, and let's get right into action.
Jeszcze kładzie bombę za lekka. Jeszcze CT mu powie, byle. Próbujemy? No.
Chyba się tepnął. Widziałem go.
Tak. CT teraz. Dostał.
Ma pułapkę na bombie.
This play is so clean, it looks like it just came out of shower.
Be faster. Those charges left.
One enemy remaining.
One more long.
Spike planted.
Give me the room. 3.
One enemy remaining.
Your fault. Give me those back.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Go for the water. Ouais.
One enemy remaining.
Now.
One enemy remaining.
Ouais.
Daisy. Não sei, já pronto.
One enemy remaining.
Knowing when to hold the side and knowing when to push can both be very crucial and does have a huge impact in the game, just like you'll see in this play.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
On left side, fine.
One enemy remaining.
My ult's ready.
Oh, behind you.
Yeah. Blocking sight.
One enemy remaining. Hey, spike planted.
Has anyone else noticed that recently their Jet players just really haven't been that good?
No charges left.
For some reason, when the enemy team has a Jet, he's just updrafting into the air and picking up 15 kills in a round. But when I have a Jet on my team, she's just hiding in the back line until she's the last one standing, and then suddenly she picks up 2 kills and dies and blames our entire team. Now, unfortunately, I can't really make the Jets on your team better, but I can make you better at Jet if that's something you want. Jet's an agent with a really high skill cap, and if you're looking to main her, there are a few things that you should know that will help give you an edge on all of those other filthy Jet mains out there. So stick with us if that sounds good to you, and let's get into it. Now this tip is actually going to deal with how to manage the time that it takes to pull out your rifle after dashing. Notice how in the background we have some clips of how long it takes Jet to pull out her rifle after dashing. This is obviously a pretty long time, and if you're dashing into enemies, you're going to get yourself killed. Now, a way that you can sort of counteract the time that it takes to pull out your rifle is by using your updraft at the same time as your dash. Now this actually doesn't speed up the pace at which you pull out your rifle, but what it does do is it makes you a lot more difficult for the target to hit at the end of your dash. Well, King, doesn't that put us in the air? That seems kind of dumb. Well, yeah, if you're updrafting into the air with a rifle, it'll be dangerous, but this is actually why you'll see a lot of professional Jet players will dash in and then updraft towards an elevated area, because it pulls out their rifle faster and then will also provide them with an off angle where they can catch enemies off guard. Tens is a player, for example, that I will see do this particularly a lot, even in tournaments, and this is a really awesome trick that all Jet players should know. Now you can do this on Ascent, Haven, Icebox, pretty much every map, and if you want to do it even more safely, you can always use a smoke to help yourself out. Alternatively, if you don't want to land on top of something, you can also use an updraft in a doorway, and this will cause you to bonk your head, but it will make it so you can hit the ground faster and even make it harder for the enemy to headshot you. Speaking of harder for the enemy to headshot you, this next tip is pretty freaking crazy. Now, I'm not going to act like I'm somebody who came up with this. I mostly have seen this sort of thing from popular YouTuber, How to Noodle. This is where he'll do those crazy Jet pixel dashes or updraft techniques. And now these aren't always applicable in all situations, but since this is a Jet main video, this is absolutely worth mentioning. This is stuff that is probably borderline bug abuse, but it's been in the game since beta, and a lot of these spots still exist, and I expect more to pop up in the future. Particularly, a cool one I want to showcase is this one on Icebox, where you can actually use Jet's updraft in an area with a slanted roof, and because of the slanted roof, it will actually propel you forward, allowing for some pretty crazy stuff in this situation. Noodle, I know, has done this using sage walls to create sort of slanted roofs on multiple other maps, but I think by understanding this mechanic exists, you could probably find spots to utilize it yourself. And I do want to provide a disclaimer here that bug abuse has the chance of getting players banned, and although, like I said, this stuff has been in the game for a while, and there are tons of popular content creators who use this stuff, there's still a possibility of getting banned for something like this, so I would use it at your own discretion. But it seems like a bunch of these dashes still exist on multiple maps, and if you're looking for specific secret Jet tips, this is definitely one of them, so we had to put it in the video. Tip number 3 is going to deal with another cool animation cancel though, and it might save your life in some situations. One big thing that players may be familiar with is being caught with their knife out, which will normally result in their death, but one cool thing with Jet, at least right now, is that when you use her smoke, it actually can cancel the animation of pulling out your firearm and can result in you firing quicker than you normally would. This can be helpful if you run out of ammo with your primary rifle and want to switch to your sidearm, or maybe if you don't want to updraft after your dash, this could potentially be slightly faster to do. This is also great if you end up missing all of your knives and need to switch back to your rifle or sidearm. Obviously, you'll want to be careful about throwing your smoke directly on top of the enemy, as this can make it so they can play around the smoke a little bit easier. But in an urgent moment when you need to shoot quickly, this could be a great move to pull off and could definitely save your life. Animation cancels are very common in other games, and we'll see if they keep this stuff in the game for Jet, but for right now, this is a great tactic to know. Before we move on to tip number 4, by the way, if you wanted to check out our premium Jet course that we've been updating on the website, I highly suggest that you check it out. There on the website, you'll hear a bunch of exclusive tips for how to play every single map as Jet, while also learning what the best practices for playing her are and how to entry, how to op, and so much more. This stuff is only a glimpse at all of the things that we offer on the website, so if you want to check out the rest of what's available, be sure to check out skillcap.com, link in the description below. Now, moving on to tip number 4, this deals with something that a lot of players may get frustrated with, which is getting headshot, but luckily Jet is an agent who can really peek angles so much more safely than other agents. And the reason for this is naturally because of her mobility. Now, a lot of the times when people are watching Jet players just jumping around with knives, it might look like they're doing this for fun. But a big reason that a lot of top tier Jet players jump around so much is because it makes them a lot more difficult to get headshot. If you think about it, most of the time when players are aiming at a corner, they're aiming at head level. So if you want to peek something, by jump peeking it, you almost assure that you will not get headshot. Maybe you'll get body shotted, but if you notice that it's a situation that you don't like, you can more safely dash away now without getting one-dinked immediately. Similarly, you don't even need to do this with your knives. If you want to just peek for info, it's generally pretty safe to use your updraft to jump peek angles as well. This gives you a very unlikely chance of actually getting killed while gathering info, and it can be a great way to keep yourself in the game longer. Our last tip goes into something a little more known by Jet players, I believe though, and it's going to cover clearing angles as Jet, similar to the last one, but this time using your dash. Now, a lot of players when dashing onto site probably just stare straight forward into where they're going, but this is actually wrong. The reason that this is wrong is because you can get a lot more value out of Jet's dash than this, and the way that you'll do this is you'll abuse the frames during your dash to scan angles for your team. So now, instead when you dash, you'll clear your team's right and left, and then you'll be able to relay this information to them, as well as it will show up on the map if any enemy is there. I tend to get pretty annoyed with my Jets when they don't clear the angles to their sides because it's such an easy way to save your teammate's life, and I highly recommend trading this habit so you can help your team out a bit more. The best way that I find to do this is to dash forward and then quickly whip your mouse around to scan those angles. It might actually seem smart to dash backwards to do this, but honestly that's a lot more difficult to aim exactly where you're going, so I don't recommend doing this. This one is going to take a lot of practice though, so I highly recommend going onto the maps that you play Jet the most on and just building this habit first. That's going to do it for our video today though, and like I said, if you want to learn all of the other nuances of playing Jet, we just updated our Jet course on the website to include a lot more content, so I highly recommend that you check that out. We have specific videos where we talk about Jet's biggest strengths, plus in-game sessions where we walk you through positions to play and how to abuse your utility to its full potential on every single map. All of this, as usual, is backed by our rank improvement guarantee, so it's literally no risk. Jet is easily one of the best agents in the game, nerfed or not, to carry you to Immortal, so highly recommend checking out our in-depth course, and other than that, I got nothing left for you today. As always, my name is King, and we here at Skillcapped want to thank you all for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.
Feel like throwing the game? Want a full red screen on your career screen? Then why not lock in Jet? Hello everybody and welcome back to another Pro Guides video. My name is Trey and for today's video I want to give you guys some tips to destroy the competition on Jet. If you're looking to add more dimensions and layers to your game rather than just running in and dying, you're in good hands. A lot of these points I will mention are from watching very high elo players or pros such as Wardell, Tens, and Asu, so these are guaranteed to improve your gameplay if you implement them properly. Let's use our tailwind and dash into our question of the day. For our question of the day, I want to ask you guys, what agent do you guys just despise playing against? There are a lot of agents that just tick you off just because they're so annoying in what they do. This question is very fitting for our video as you might expect me to say that Jet is the worst, but actually I very dislike Raze just a little bit more. Even though she did get a bunch of nerfs, her playstyle with her paint shell and satchels are incredibly tilting when you die to them. So much for abilities won't kill in Valorant, huh? Also when you hear that fire in the hole, you just have to chuckle and say, huh, I'm in. In danger. Getting killed by Raze's Showstopper is one of the worst feelings in the game as it just feels like there's no counterplay when they double satchel into you and shoot a rocket into you.